Welcome to the seventh cycle. I'm your narrator this evening, and this is the prologue. In front of you appears an old beaten journal, mud caking the front piece of leather. As you open it up, it seems to have belonged to a Atlas Cardamon. It's not a name that you know. It's not one that's ever popped up in any history book that you've ever read. But it seems important. So you turn the page and start with his first passage. Simon's experimenting again. I know he needs to do this, but he believes that our service to the great Madon Mia is going to grant us a way to travel across the vast seas in so many new ways. I don't really trust that, but it's what Simon thinks, and of course I get too close to his workshop. I should know by now not to do that, but I do anyway. And it explodes. Because of course it does. Of course it explodes. It doesn't explode into fire though, because that would be easy, and easy is not Simon's thing. It explodes into water. Because of course it does. Seawater of all of the sorts, and it just rushes out of the building, bursting through walls and bursting through me. Salt water scratches and gouges into me. Little pieces of shrapnel of wood, because of course wood's involved here as well, always is with Madon, pierces me everywhere, and I mean everywhere when I say everywhere. And through all this pain, I'm somewhat new, because of course I am. Of course I am somewhere new. The grass looks the same though. That's always a bonus when you look at the ground and it looks the same. Less water here though. At least at the moment there's less water. It's boiling. Because of course it is. It's always boiling. The sky's clear though. Don't have to worry about that. The one time I do not have my camping gear on hand. But let's not get sidetracked. In front of me is giant mountains. A mountain range to be exact. And there's no trees to actually build anything to sleep the night with. Bonus points to this area, everyone who's keeping score. But I should build something to stay the night with. Day one. I started off the day with a trek towards the mountain range in front of me. The weather's still clear, which is always good, but it does seem odd for a mountain range this close to the coast. I know I said before about it having less water than where I've come from, but the ocean's literally right there. I shouldn't stay in one space for long though. I don't have the equipment needed to protect myself from rain or any other things in the way. And I'm really lucky that I'm not too far away from natural protection. I really need to give these mountains a name, because I can't just say mountains, because what if I find more mountains and I have to go coast mountains and land mountains, but then there's more of those mountains. Sorry, sidetracked. There should be enough time left in the day to set up before bed. Thank fuck. So, turns out setting up a camp of sorts with just a couple of rocks and my jacket as a covering might not be the best idea next to what seems to be a recent landslide zone, but it's the only protection I have at the moment, so it's just gonna have to do. I have also, though, set up some traps around the area, because hopefully there's some livestock or anything that I can eat, because the food that I have me is not going to last me long, and stocking up's always good. But I should have everything set to go find civilization tomorrow. That is it for our prologue. Fair listeners, I have been your humble narrator, and this has been the 7th cycle.